one, this is not an interview.
Okay.
Okay. This is a discussion.
Okay.
So let's keep it that way. Sit back, relax.
Yes.
You are not going to be judged by not giving a right syntax or a wrong syntax. You will only be judged by what your thought process is. Number one.
Okay.
Number two is that initially I would ask you to give your introduction. Take substantial time to say that, because that's when I will come to know what you work on. I don't want to ask you questions related to things which you don't know. There's no point. Okay.
Yes.
And not everybody can know everything.
Okay.
Number two. Number three is, from a job description standpoint, I am supposed to evaluate you on .NET, C#, SQL, and Angular. Okay. Now, while that's what is said in the JD, we'll see. Okay, how the discussion goes. Okay, I evaluate people a little bit differently than just asking 10 questions and asking for an answer. Okay, so that's not the point. The most important thing is I will be typing all the time because I need to note down what you're saying. Okay, but I am listening always, so don't worry about it. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, and let me start the interview, and then we can go. We'll try to keep it between 25 to 30 minutes. That means it might just get extended by a little bit over 6 o'clock. Okay, so that's fine. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So Athar, you can start now.
Yes, I have overall 10.6 years experience in .NET and SQL Server and ASP, MVC, VCF, jQuery, and AngularJS. Experience in designing, project designing, implementation, migration, and some of the work I had done in SharePoint also. And I worked around in different domains, financial, banking, insurance, retail, and healthcare domains I worked. And I have experience in SharePoint already, I said so, and in entity framework, and I worked a little bit in background with Java also. And I worked in as an assistant architecture for the standard team to validate designing and standards, performing code, and bug verification and unit testing with TFS and JIT. I worked and integration testing and set the designs and develop enterprise applications and troubleshooting issues in the security and threading and serialization and validation. These are the things I work. My current HTML, CSS, yes, in this, and backend with databases, Oracle and SQL both. I'm very much comfortable with both because I am in OCP. Yes.
Good. Anything else you want to add?
What? Now cloud microservices, I want to add more deep, and native cloud I want to add, because you have to keep on update yourself, otherwise.
Absolutely. And also the next part is, you were talking about code production moving, and also I wanted to ask you, do you have any experience with using the DevOps setup?
Yes.
Fully?
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. So let's do one thing. Yeah. So I think anyways we have lost some time, and I don't want to harass you on an evening. Okay. We'll try to make it as quick as possible. Okay. So let's start with a little bit of .NET. And again, you are an experienced guy with close to 11 years. You talked about your experience starting from MVC, Riverbed, British Petroleum, Infosys, Riyadh.
Yes.
So much MVC and all, right?
Yes.
So now I'm not going to ask you what is the difference between array and generics. Okay, obviously that's not what my intent is. So my questions are going to be mostly on scenario. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Maybe in between I might ask you a small code snippet I might put on the chat and say, okay, tell me what is output, just for the sake of it, because I'll be very honest, they want me to assess you on a code, so I will do it customary, even though I don't really believe in anybody with 10 years of work ex that I could show him a code, but that's a mandatory thing, so I cannot do anything. I have to do it. Okay. And then I will come to the SQL and maybe a little bit of Angular too. Okay. I have a scenario here, and you talked about entity framework. We'll try to touch that as well. Okay.
Yes.
More than the scenario, let's have a design perspective. Now, help me understand this, Athar. So, you know about the concept of interfaces in C#.NET, right? So,
Yes.
you have interfaces, because it gives you multiple inheritance and all that. Okay.
Yes.
Now, obviously all the members in there are public as well as abstract, so you can implement it wherever you call, right? And it is one of the basic structures for modern designing,
Yes.
right? Because interfaces are used extensively across, right?
Yes.
Now, I have a question here. Now, it's obviously based on the concept of abstract methodology. Okay, the way the abstract thing works, right? But there is also a concept of abstract class also. Now, give me a scenario, okay, where where an abstract class will be more useful than an interface.
Yes. Abstract class, yeah, it's keyword for we are using for the classes and methods. Abstract
No, I
class.
understand. No,
Yeah.
that is fine. Give me a scenario, a real type scenario where abstract class will be more useful
Okay.
than interface usage in a design.
Yes. Okay. So we have to access the abstract classes must be inherited from other classes.
Correct.
Yeah, other
Correct.
classes. So we can example animal class we used, and polymorphism is there. We can use as an
Mm-hmm.
abstract class. And if you go deep down, so we can give methods abstract. This does not have a body, and we had to give public abstract void animals. These are the
Mm-hmm.
classes we had to use, and
Mm-hmm.
derive the class from inherit from what the name we have used, example animal,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to give the
Mm-hmm.
class example horse, animal and
Mm-hmm.
horse we can use, and override we can use. And if you go animal sound is there, that sound we can write the horse says wee woo woo. So these are in the console we can write that. And my horse, yeah, come again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No.
Argument.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
argument example we can give argument in the argument horse we can give, and create that object, and sound abstract method we can use, and call the regular
Mm-hmm.
methods we can use.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood. Good. Okay, one question here. Uh, we have a scenario. I cannot see you. Arthur. I am saying that, do you know the difference between MVC and MVVM pattern?
Yes, MVC and
So
pattern.
MVVM,
Yes.
model view model. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, MVC is a framework, and we are using for the web application on .NET framework, and based on our model view controller, developers can build dynamic web application with the MVC framework. And what you said, MVC difference between, hello, hello.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes, MVC is a controller we are using, and this handle
Mm-hmm.
incoming URL request, and MVC routing sends request to the appropriate controller, and action method based on URL, and it will configure the routes. All the public methods in the controller class are called action methods, and controller class must be derived from system web controller class, and controller class name must be with
Mm-hmm.
and the
And what
controller
about
should be there.
MVVM?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what is the reason. So, anyways, coming to a point where I